Okay, bamboo paper. So this is kind of what's going on here. Exam 2, what I did is, I think when I originally graded them and I looked at the grades, there was like 3 people passing. So what I did is I gave everybody 10 points, and that made the grade profile look a little bit better. I think the average overall was like a 70 after I gave you 10 points. So 3 A's, 2 B's, 4 C's, 3 D's, and 3 F's. Exam averages are significantly higher than that because the exam 1 grades were higher. Nobody's failing on the exams, which is an amazing thing on here. Usually by this point in the semester, there's somebody who hasn't taken either exam. So I'm really proud of you guys for that. You've all taken all your exams. That is an improvement. Overall, there's kind of a breakdown right about here at this point. Everyone, if I sort your grades from highest to lowest, or lowest to highest, whichever way I do it, and I look at the people who are passing compared to the people who have D's and F's, what I'm seeing is the people who have D's and F's all have significant problems with turning in labs. And they all have missing labs, or there's one person who doesn't have a lot of missing labs, but has a lot of missing homework. So you really got to get the work in, and actually doing the labs and doing the homework is what makes it possible to actually pass the exams. Midterm grades, there were 3 D's. That's dropped a little bit. I typically at this point in the semester start looking at your overall grade and thinking, how many points can I give you? They're not give me points like they were on the exam, but they yeah, I know. I'm bad. They're not give me points like you get on the exam. They are, you have to do some work for them. There's some extra credit points on the homework, like some of the homeworks have 120 points on them, and that's the max score, and they're in the grade book for 100. So you can get 120% on that homework. I generally come up with like maybe some silly things that become bonus participation opportunities. And the other thing I do is I allow you to rework exam 1 and 2 and do some other problems as bonus points on the final exam. Typically, if you're at this point right here, that's generally a good thing for saying that you are exempt from the final exam, and I will make an official pronouncement on that later. What I call this is what BB Learn calls an A, which is 90% or higher. For right now, if I was looking at the grades and assigning final grades based on your averages today, the line for an A would be around an 88%, because there is a significant break. It's like there's a couple of people who have an 88, 1 or 2 people who have an 88, 89 average in here. And then there's a gap until 83 or something like that. So that's a good line. It's a good place to draw the line. But that could change as time moves on. So watch out for the grade increasing opportunities, and they can, all help like significantly boost your grade. And then maybe, I don't know how many people I'll make exempt from the final. Depends upon what the grades look like. Let's see, what do I want to do? I want to go to PowerPoint. Okay, my computer would not boot up at all. It wouldn't respond to the mouse, so I just rebooted it and the screen wouldn't come up. And this is like, okay, that's why I was a little bit late getting in here. So it is April Fool's Day. Nobody's pranked me yet. When I was teaching high school, I pranked one of my students, and he was like this kid he was a little bit odd, and he just wanted to be one of the guys. And when I pranked him, he felt like he was one of the guys. But he had like this total meltdown when we did it, and he like had a fit and actually knocked my monitor off my desk. We told him Fatty got a higher grade on his algebra test than he did.
Was that a student or a classroom?
Sort of. Well, okay, we had 12 people in the class, and 5 of them were named Josh. So there was all kinds of, we all had the various nicknames for the Joshes. One of them was Fat Kid in a Corn Shirt. He always had a corn shirt. And they made up their names themselves. It wasn't like I was doing this. It was their own names. And yeah, Fatty liked his name too. Okay, so I got yelled at by one of the teachers for calling him Fatty once, and I'm like, how many Joshes can you? And he likes it. It just like makes you like one of the guys, and you're just like a regular. Okay, never mind. So we had pre-lecture today. We're going to continue lab 4 next week, which is at this point, when we go into lab on Friday, you should be starting the layout. Notice that lab 4 is worth 4 times as much as all the other labs. So it can help improve your lab average if you haven't turned in the other labs. Another grade increasing opportunity that I always do is if you have missed turning in 1 lab, I will give you 1 week's worth of lab credit if you turn it in to me before the final exam. Okay? And I do that for everybody. If you are having technology issues, because you're in another country or something like that. Tasha, who are you? I don't know who you are, Tasha Loud. So please announce yourself or tell me who you are, or I'm going to kick you out.
It's Victor. I just logged in on my friend's laptop.
Okay, that's fine.
I didn't know it was going to do that. Sorry.
No, I noticed these things sometimes. Okay, Alex is here. Dan.
Yeah, so it's Victor something.
Okay, good. I get that. I know now. I think I saw Gabriel before. Who am I looking for? Oh, Gabriel and Sigwy. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, there's the other Gabriel. Okay, everybody, I'm expecting to be here. So if you're having really hardcore technology issues and you just can't log in and you can't get into the lab, let me know. I may do something like give you an incomplete or something like that, but you have to talk to me before the end of the semester. Final exam is Wednesday, April 28th. Oh, thank goodness. Last semester, we had a final exam on Saturday at 5 p.m. No, 5:30 p.m. Yeah, things have improved slightly. This is my recommended electives for the fall. INF 638, cryptography, is still on the books. Dr. Cambo is not teaching it. But knowing about cryptography may help you get an undergraduate research opportunity. If you're interested in working in the lab, talk to him. He's a nice guy and he's got plenty of money and he hires undergrads. And if you get a recommendation for me, it might help you. Okay. If you want to work there in the summer too, let me know. Just talk to me. Sometimes he lets me hire 1 person in the summer, just because I want to. 490 embedded mixed signal design is going to be taught by me. If they put it back on the books, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Most of the senior electives deleted. I don't know what's going to happen with that. If you don't like the fact all the senior electives got deleted, please email kyle.winfrey@nau.edu and annoy him because he shouldn't have done that. Yes.
I just had a question. Wasn't INF 638 going to be possibly top 5?
I doubt that. I have a good idea who's going to teach it, but I'm not going to say it on the recording. Okay. And I don't think it's Flickama. Okay. Dr. Cambo is going to take the semester off from teaching and prepare a quantum cryptography class for applied physics for next spring. There is a device physics class that is on the book still, as far as I know, and that is EE599, and it's taught by Daphne Chen. And that would be a really interesting class if you wanted to work someplace like TSMC. Okay.
Is that one have any prereqs on it? Just main core classes?
You got to get permission. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think maybe 280s are pretty good.
Yeah. They need something. I don't know what. Talk to Daphne Chen. I mean, I can send you her email. It's not Daphne.Chen. It is Ying-Chen.Chen. Technology is fleeting. I don't know what made me do this, but Hot Wheels are forever. No, seriously, we built those. No, we didn't build the Hot Wheels. We built the things they made Hot Wheels out of. This was like my son was like in awe of me. He's in middle school, right? Here's Hot Wheels of what I do at work. We still have them. We have some in the package and some that we took out and played with. Spring 2021. We're going to look at Bodhi plots. Yay! Everybody's favorite topic. We're going to look at frequency response. It's going to be we're not doing things like we did in 280. Everything is going to look like either like a high pass filter or a low pass filter, and preferably a low pass filter because they're easier. There are a few things that look like high pass filters though. What we've been doing all along is we've been looking at midband for these amplifiers. We've been assuming all the capacitors are basically shorted out, whether they're big or small. And we've been calculating the voltage gain, the input resistance, and the output resistance. But really, all amplifiers do look somewhat like filters. Now, there's two places where the gain falls off. We have this problem here with semiconductors that is called 1/F noise. And basically, if you plot noise versus frequency, it looks something like this. This is just in general. So semiconductors generate a huge amounts of noise at low frequencies. And you can think of this as being long-term voltage drift or things like this. So we want to cut off, we want to have this part of the curve is desirable to get rid of large portions of the noise. And the way we do that is with capacitors. We put these big capacitors on the board that basically kill the low frequency response. And we do that on purpose. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the low frequency response. Now, the high frequency response gets killed. The reason why we have poles here on this side is because we have tiny little capacitors inside the transistor. And these are what kill the high frequency response. Very undesirable. If we could make the high frequency response better, we could run our amplifiers at higher frequencies. We could run our digital circuits at higher frequencies. So it turns out the dominating one for our high frequency response, getting like a week ahead of myself, is the C gate to drain. And it does this horrible thing called the Miller effect, where basically the C gate to drain is going to get multiplied by the gain when we do the circuit analysis. So every time I increase the gain, I decrease the frequency response, which leads to one of the fundamental laws of engineering called the gain bandwidth product. It's a constant. If I increase the gain, I decrease the bandwidth. It's like one of the laws of the universe. I don't know. So what we want to talk about today is what's going on here in this low frequency band. The way we're going to approach this is we have these capacitors, and we're going to take these capacitors and figure out their Thevenin equivalent resistance. Yes, I said the T word. What resistance do they see? And once we figure out what resistance that capacitor sees, another fundamental law of the universe, we can find their 3 dB frequency, or their omega, what's kind of like their omega naught, where this gain rolls off. This is called F. Where that frequency is going to roll off is going to be 1 over RC. Another fundamental law of the universe is that my computer has crashed. Okay, I will be back shortly. Hopefully it will boot up this time and not take 10 minutes to do it.